Boom. Murk them. Slurp them. Let's go this way. Smirk them. That's all I gotta say. That's all I have to say about it. I'm not scared of this guy. That is, yeah, I mean, you can just kind of run from enemies. It can get overwhelming. But I don't know. I think I'm mostly just calling my younger self lame for not playing this game more thoroughly. And playing freaking Nightmare in Dreamland. Nightmare in Dreamland was sick, though. 3 or 4 generations ago, an order of knights protected the royalty of the Hylia. These knights of Hyrule were also guardians of the Pin of Courage. Unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the great war against evil that took place when the 7 wise men created their seal. So yeah, this is just sort of more lore. It's descendants of the knights. Hyrule, a hero must appear. So we're the hero. That's basically what he's saying. Give us a treasure. It's the Pegasus boots. They're like the size of my face there. And now we have them in our menu. Yeah. And now we can do this. Do a little run. A little dash. I don't need those hearts now, but thank you. And I think there's some goodies in here for us. I don't know if... Yo, had to sneeze. Gonna edit that out. Boom. So I don't know why they give you the Pegasus boots and then don't make it a Pegasus bootable wall, because you can Pegasus boot some walls. You know, the boots were made for walking. So I don't know why. It seems like a fail there on their part, just because they almost have everything in place to have a nice teachable moment for the player, which the game does throughout, you know, so at least for a lot of things. Some stuff is like super secretive, you know, and just hard and not intuitive. But I got the forbidden knowledge by reading a walkthrough at one point, and now it's just forever in my brain. So, you know, I'll be able to get some of those hidden items and stuff. See, it sort of looks like this is the line, but it just is not the line. I like that this tree is yellow. All these trees are yellow. So now I can run into trees. Sometimes they'll give you stuff. Sometimes you'll get hit with bees, kind of like Animal Crossing. Luck of the draw, really. Got bombs selected now for some reason. So we're good on the bees, but we're still gonna murder this guy and walk through here and murder his brother. Yeah, kill that guy. Kill him with my sword. You know, there's no blood. It's like sure there's violence. We don't need this fairy right now. Interesting. Usually fairy doors. So sometimes it respawns people after like a board, and sometimes it respawns people after like a couple. You know, you have room to like backtrack a couple rooms before all the enemies respawn. I mean, usually for like dungeons and stuff, if you just step outside, you'll respawn the whole dungeon. But that kind of makes sense, just because things are usually separated into like overworld and like dungeon world in Zelda games. At least from what I understand about the programming aspect of it, you know, like everything has to exist somewhere within the game, so the dungeons sort of live in their own realm. But I guess there is also the dark world in this game, so forget I said anything, because I don't really know how it works. Yeah, I kind of like the way projectiles interact. Can be a tad frustrating, but also your shield passively blocks stuff, which is sick. You know. Okay, die. And I'm sort of playing a little timid here, you know. I don't need to, but I am. I don't know why. I guess I'm used to being in the dungeon and like not sure where my next heart is gonna come from and not wanting to restart the dungeon. We can abuse save states since we're on the Switch, but we're not doing that because I've played this game many times and you don't need to. I would feel robbed of the challenge of that, you know. I'll play an easy game all day, but there's just no need to save state this game. I'm hoping for this channel to do more stuff like this, where it's like old school, or you know, just like old school graphics, like maybe Celeste, Undertale, stuff like that. They're newer games, but they just have kind of like an older aesthetic to them. I really love sprite work, you know, and it takes me back to that place in my childhood, and then that place in my college experience, I guess. You know, maybe that's why, but I think I've always just really liked it. I've just sort of liked the video game aesthetic. Video games are kind of a culture. I guess they've always been a cultural, well, not always, but since the 90s, they've been like a cultural thing. And you know, when I was growing up, they're sort of in that transitional phase of like people just sort of thinking they're like garbage, brain rotting trash. I mean, that's why I wasn't able to have a Game Boy until I want to say I was 8, but looking back on it, 8 is pretty young, so I don't know what I was griping about, but I'm sure my friends had Game Boys at like 4 or 5, and truthfully, I think that's better than kids having iPhones at like 4 or 5, but I don't know, I was thinking about it the other day, and if we continue to rely on technology so much, learning how to use a computer, learning how to type, and learning how to use a phone, that stuff could become just as important, if not more important, than writing. I think, you know, for better or for worse, I just sort of think that could happen. So maybe putting phones and putting technology in the younger generation is a good idea, and that's what's pushing us forward. But anyway, I guess that's neither here nor there. Because, you know, I was allowed to game, but I wasn't allowed to game super much. But then if I could sort of demonstrate that the game had a value, like reading or sort of a scientific concept or something like that, then it was sort of a free game. I did play a lot of Pokemon, though, and that was just because, like, my parents were divorced, and when I was with my dad and my stepmom, they would really, like, a lot of time we would just like go shopping at the mall, and they would just spend forever just like picking stuff out or whatever, you know. I guess that's kind of normal when you're in a family. You do a fair amount of gift shopping, Christmas shopping, and just sort of like getting stuff for the yard and stuff like that. So yeah, I played a lot of Pokemon Emerald. I got Ruby first. I lost it, and then I got a copy of Emerald, and I played it, and I was one of the kids. I just trained up my starter. You know, I just had the crazy strong starter, and I never really beat the game until one time I ran at the Elite Four so many times that my like secondary Pokemon, like I think it was a Tentacool, you know, the one I just always switch out to when my starter dies and I have to revive it. It was actually starting to get kind of beefy, and I was finally able to beat the Elite Four, and it was this crazy, surreal experience. Sceptile and a Tentacool, so kind of good little duo for type coverage, I guess. Still not the smartest way to play the game, but it happened. I remember I was on a long drive with my mom to her side of the family down in South Georgia. So we are just chugging right along to the second dungeon. I actually totally glossed over this a second ago, but we got the book. I wonder if this event is triggered. I'm going to wander into this grove really quick to see if this thing happens. It does. He fades away. So we'll get to meet that guy later. Super neat detail in this game. It just adds richness to the world. No, we don't need the book right now. But yeah, I got the book, and that's gonna help us move past stuff. I mean, you know, when they dreamt up this game, they probably meant for you to venture this way, then get to that point where you can't get past without the book, and then having to do some exploring. You know, probably talk to some villagers and stuff like that. Where are we? Okay. Okay, so without a power glove, we're gonna have to go the long way around. That's okay, because we have hearts at our house, and we could use a heart. I don't know, I really want, I guess I have an obsession with full hearts. There's a lot of heart pieces we can find around here at this point, too. You know, we'll get those as we need to. Or as we find them. I like it to be an organic experience. I don't really like... I think a really efficient way to beat a Zelda game would be to just sort of pick the area and be like, all right, we're gonna grind this area. Maybe not even pick it, just see where you naturally end up and be like, all right, we're gonna grind this area for a minute, and you do your thing, and you grind that area, and you explore every nook and cranny to find art pieces and stuff like that, or fairy fountains. This is sweet. So let's just capture 2 of these. This is an awesome function of this game. It doesn't tell you can do it, but you have a net, you have a bottle, you can catch the fairy. Keep it in a bottle and heal 1 heart. Thank you. But you know, I like sort of finding secrets to come about organically. I actually sort of remembered something was there, but I didn't remember what it was. I just knew that if I poked around, I would probably figure it out. And that's sort of, oh, whoops, thought we had a different item equipped. That's sort of the joy of having beaten this game a couple times, knowing where almost everything is, and then just sort of letting go of that obsession and attention to detail. Yeah, there are bombs in the grass for some reason. But just sort of letting go of all that and just playing the game, following your instincts, and then remembering how to get past the hard parts. It makes for a really fun experience where you can just focus on gameplay instead of looking at a walkthrough and focus on the little world that they've made for you here. And get him. Slice! Could have sworn those guys were just 2 hits. Alright, keep hitting that button when I mean to hit that button. Nice. Okay, so wait, actually, let's check that out again. Huh. So that gap looks like the same size on the map as it does in real life. I guess it's two links length. It's, you know, a little more than that, but and when I say real life, of course I mean the video game. Boom. These things suck. They're just tough to hit. Hiding in the grass. I've got hella troops. And this design on this little temple here is cool. Reminds me of Neon Genesis. This is a puzzle. There are 2 solutions to this puzzle. Ah, got bombs. Full bombs. I got arrows now though. That's nice. Walk back through. Solution number 2. Do this. And pull this. And go over here. And oh, a heart piece. I could have sworn you got a heart piece from not that or something. You had to like grab one of those fish and take it somewhere. But we got it. And that's pretty sweet. There's definitely more. I mean, I've said that. There's heart pieces to be found, but we're gonna come about them organically. I'm gonna talk to this guy. He says nothing. I'm gonna read a sign. Pay no attention to the average middle-aged man standing by the sign when you come alone. Okay. How do we do this? Yeah, take a sign, and he follows you places. There's some kind of secret here. You can do something with him, but I forget what it is. Because he can only follow you so far. Just throw a sign. I think he respawns. Oh, you know what though? There is an item. This is embarrassing. Alright, so we're actually just gonna have to backtrack, but we're gonna make it quick. And we are also going to stop by this fairy fountain. Close your eyes and relax. Thank you. Thank you, fairy lady. They look very blonde in this game. I guess, you know, you can't do the same level of detail. I like the Breath of the Wild fairies a lot. I think they have a lot of personality. The Ocarina of Time fairies look pretty. Just saying. There's some rupees there that we're actually not concerned with. We didn't mean to go back there. Yes, sir. Oh, dodge that. Nice. Dodge this crab. Nice. Octoroks, dude, just going nuts. Shooting in every dang direction. One of these? No. Finally, using bomb. 20. Nice. What's in here? 5 arrows. Is that enough? Probably not. Oh, maybe. Let's see if we can get that money. Yes. That's tight. And arrow? No. 3 arrows remain. Arrow. No. Wow. But this guy's been doing the same thing. So now we just have you, and that's fine. Bomb, pick it up, and throw it. And blow him up, and we got him. Nice. This guy, take some rupees, but don't tell anyone I gave it to you. Keep it between us, okay? Oh, nice. It's actually a ton. More bombs. Okay, I need arrows, though. Even more rupees. More rupees. And arrows, okay. Alright, I guess I can't complain. 738 is pretty high. I wonder, there's a couple, like, rupee walls, you know, that they, make you chase in this game. Just sort of like you need a certain amount to get an item that unlocks a part of an area or something like that. I mean, you know, that's pretty much at Zelda, the game series' core. So, you know, I think we can do one of those pretty soon, if not now. But we probably have enough room to just run the next dungeon and then just be like heckin' maxed out. And then sort of run some errands after that. Because then we'll be 2 pendants deep. We can just run some errands and probably find some hearts along the way. Heart, nice. Alright, so. Yeah, because I got to the desert and then I remembered, oh, we don't have this one thing. And if we don't have this one thing, we don't have this other thing either. So, let's get the first thing. Oh yeah, fountain music. I like this, an ice cave in here too. That's really cool. Fairies, we are already set. Fairies! Oh, that's my Professor Crocker impersonation. I don't want the fairies. Set it free. Okay, keep it in the bottle. We caught a bee. Keep it in the bottle. Oh, dang. Don't have any empty bottles? Let's let this fairy out and then catch the bee. So we've moved fairies. Oh my god, get over here. Keep it in a bottle, yes. Alright, so we have one fairy going into the second dungeon. I think we can get the flippers now and get a third bottle and also sink some of this money. But we have what we need, so I'm kind of just gonna run back and hit it. Just because I think I can do it. The boss can be tough, but it's not too bad for sure. Okay, slice these crabs. Not having warp is lame, but we can actually unlock it really soon. Just a couple more dungeons. And we could be utilizing run a little bit more, just to make it a little bit quicker. It's not supposed to be a speed run or anything. I guess that's probably clear at this point. If you know the run. I don't know the run. Yeah, the glitchless run is what I would be interested in if I was really doing that, but I don't know. I think that can take some of the fun out of it. This is supposed to be a chill thing. You know, I was sort of hoping for more of a podcasty Let's Play than like a super gameplay driven Let's Play, but I think it's a good opportunity to explore some topics that games bring up and just sort of explore why we like games and why we like games from a certain time, stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be the best gameplay, but I'm hoping it could at least be good stuff to listen to. Maybe alright stuff to watch and listen to. Okay, we are losing hearts. And our house is actually pretty close, so should we fix that? There's a bee. But I bet once we change frames, we're good on the bee. This spot is slightly laggy, actually. just because there's so much going on. That's another thing I noticed. Well, I don't know, maybe I was playing it on like an emulator or something, because that spot wasn't so laggy the last couple times I've entered it. But I mean, I guess this is technically an emulator, but I remember some of these spots being really laggy, and I thought that was because I got an NES version of the game, and I just thought there was more lag, or not NES, Super Nintendo, and I just thought there was more lag to it, but then the Game Boy cartridge at least. But this one's running super smooth. I know that the Switch version of the Switch Virtual N64 leaves a lot to be desired, or at least that's what I've heard from a lot of people. I wonder if I really just played it, like if I would feel that way or what. I don't know. You know, I'm sure they could develop it better, but really, I don't know. I think it's easy to be like, oh well, they should have remade it, and then just sold it and had it be better, less input lag. But I think you could also make the argument there then that all Nintendo does is rehash old stuff, I think that's an easy argument to make. And maybe that's not necessarily for the worst. I mean, I think that is one of the things keeping them in their spot. Just the fact that so many childhoods are attached to Nintendo, mine included. And memories with these specific characters, and no one can really, it's so tough to recreate that. I feel like even Nintendo is struggling to recreate what early Nintendo did, and then the groundwork they laid was just like, they were able to ride that way forever. Zelda became a household name, and it was just like I thought it was cool to play Zelda because people talked about playing Zelda. I thought cool kids played Zelda, like older kids at camp, stuff like that. I remember playing Zelda at camp with people. Zelda's tight, here we are. Okay, the bee, I swear the bee is better than this at keeping these little like desert ghosties off my back. Or it was in the previous run through, but this time it is not. So that's kind of weak. I don't know, maybe I just had a better bee, But we get to keep the bee instead of a fairy, so I was hoping it would actually, because a fairy would have been fine, then we could have just damage boosted through, I mean not even damage boosted, but just, taken the hits and healed. The bee is supposed to be better at keeping the people off you, or those little ghosties and the vultures and stuff, but this time it wasn't. So make your wish here and it will be granted. What are we gonna wish for, guys? What are we gonna wish for? Take this time now to go ahead and make your wish in the comments below. Go ahead and make a wish, guys.